So I got a question for you.
All right.
You're buying a cruise ship.
Trying to buy a cruise ship. Trying to buy a cruise ship. Yeah.
So I got to ask you, 'cause
Yeah.
I think it's on the minds of a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
This is, I think, what the obvious question is. Are you not content with where you're at right now?
I'm very content. Very. But it's like, this is just like an opportunity that I saw a year and a half ago when COVID first started, that ships I sailed on. One that I was my first ship was cruise director, Celebrity Horizon, were being scrapped.
Yeah.
And some of them are here in the Philippines. And so I was thinking, well, what if there's any way to get one of these ships and get it financed or get investors and save? I was really trying to save the ship. That was my first thing. I wanted to save them all, trying to save a ship. And I was going to do charters and do different things and idea after idea. And finally I landed on the thing of nobody's doing the Philippines. It's been done before, but the ships were retired and they weren't very safe. They weren't very good ships. So that it's been done before, but a while ago. So I wanted to be the first one to open up the Philippines, and everyone I've talked to in the country likes the idea.
Okay, but what I'm trying to dig down and drill down into
is, am I happy?
Is what a lot of guys come over, and like myself. So here's where I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around.
Okay.
Is I want to come over here and just do whatever I want to do.
Right.
And I always say follow your bliss. You want to sit around and drink Heinekens all day from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. If that's your bliss, rock on. You know, that's your thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to snorkel, great. If you want to stay home and watch Netflix, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But you're not cut that way.
No.
So for you, there is, I totally get it because you're following your bliss.
Well,
in other words, it's something that you've maybe always wanted to do. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
It's not. It's just because of this thing that happened with COVID. That's why it all came up. I mean, if COVID hadn't happened, we were back to when you and I first met each other. We're hanging out, going out to, Why Not and stuff, and doing things together. I wouldn't even thought about it.
Okay.
Wouldn't even cross my mind. The only reason it came up is that when I see a ship that was built for $109 million, and I can pick it up for $10 million, and it's in basically perfect condition, that's what motivated me.
Okay.
To get me started.
Is your motivation because you want to get rich? Is your motivation because you need something to do?
No.
Is it your motivation because you're getting bored?
No.
What's the motivation underneath the motivation?
Well, first of all, I've never been happier in my life, and I've had some really good times in my life. I mean, I know I talk about on my channel about times when, I went bankrupt, I had quadruple bypass surgery, got divorced, my children moved to England, all these bad things happened.
Right.
Most of them I can blame myself for. I don't ever say, poor woe is me. But I've had a lot of really great times too, and great times in my life, and done some wonderful things. And so that wasn't really the motivation. Like, I'm happy if this doesn't happen, and there's a good chance it won't. I'd say right now I'd give myself, even though I've got some people that are interested in investing, I would say I'd give myself maybe 10% chance of pulling this off.
Okay.
I think that's realistic. And if it doesn't pull off, I'll be perfectly fine. I'm not going to be depressed. I won't be depressed at all. I'll be disappointed, but I won't be depressed.
Yeah.
But I am, on the other hand, I'm really focused on this. I'm laser focused on it. I'm talking to people every day. I've got a gentleman who's a friend of mine and who I met online and interviewed him on my channel, John, who owns Purple Cow. He owns the one in San Francisco, which is the #1 marketing company in all of San Francisco, online marketing. That's his specialty. He's offered to come in as my director of marketing, do all the marketing. He's going to fly over here when he can and do a whole video on this project to give to investors, and also so we can start an online funding for the initial money that we need to get the ship inspected and things. He's doing it for free. He's not charging me anything. He wants to do it for free just to be involved in the project.
Okay.
And I've got a friend of mine who's an attorney, a retired attorney from Berkeley. He's involved with me. A couple other people that have, I've got the broker of the ship is a guy named Captain Ken Kane, who used to be the president of Windstar Cruises and he started Windstar Cruises. That was all his concept. So he's actually built a cruise line from the bottom up, including he designed the ships. He's a marine architect. And I've known it for 12 years. I used to be a cruise director with Windstar, longer than 12 years ago, like 30 years ago. And I've talked to him on the phone. He's kind of giving me advice like he's a mentor, but he's also selling the ship. So but yeah, it's moving along. We'll see what happens. But I don't want to leave the Philippines. I don't want to leave my apartment. This is where I want to be, and like I said, my life's never been better.
So where do you see yourself if this thing does happen? Let's just say it clicks, and 5 years from now you've got 3 ships, you got 3 successful. I've never been on a cruise, so I guess routes.
I'll give you a free cruise. I'm not kidding. I'll take you on a cruise, my friend. I owe you that. You've done so much for me. I owe you that. It's the least I could do. Give you a free cruise.
So let's say you're worth millions of dollars, okay? I'm just doing the hypothetical crap.
Okay. All right.
I hate hypotheticals too.
Okay.
But we're just having a bullshit session here.
All right,
so
fine.
What the hell?
All right.
All right. So you got a few $1 million. You got 3 ships going out. Everything's running like clockwork. Where do you see yourself?
In the
same apartment with the same woman?
I'm not giving up that apartment, and I'm not giving up she'll be my wife by then.
Right.
We got the legal capacity done by an attorney yesterday, so that's one more piece of paper you need in the Philippines to get married.
Yeah.
We're just waiting my birth certificate. I ordered it from Indiana. Just got to go to my mother's house and she'll FedEx it to me, and then we have to take a class. And that's it. We'll get married.
So once you're married, what's the primary reason that you're getting married? What's the motivation there? Was it your idea, Jen's idea, both your ideas? How did that manifest?
Well, one thing most guys know, they have a Filipino girlfriend, they want to get married. Okay. They don't want to just live with somebody. It's kind of old school, but that's the way they feel about it. And for me, it would have been fine if we didn't get married. I've been okay with that, but she's the girl I'm going to be with the rest of my life.
Okay.
And so I figure she's going to be with me the rest of my life. It doesn't matter to me to get married. If that's what she wants, we'll get married. And I'm happy to do it. Okay. And so I'm doing whatever I can to move the process along. And, that's it. By the way, our gifts will be registered at Hypermart, just so you know. I like Campbell's soup.
That's a good one.
But going back to if I had that much money, I would keep my motorcycle. I would stay in my same apartment. I might buy new furniture, like different furniture. I would have my things that are in storage in America brought over here, my books especially, so I could have my books. And some other things I bought around the world, my art, I'd bring that over here. I would maybe buy a place in America, maybe in Utah, I don't know where, probably there, maybe in Florida, so that my daughters who are in England, when they come to visit me, they have a place to stay and have their things there. And I might do that. That would be my big splurge, to get a place in America.
Okay.
But I wouldn't give up what I've got. I don't think I'd buy a car. I don't want one yet.
Okay. So change the topic. On the marriage thing, here's something that concerns me.
Okay.
Is what happens to baby May? What happens to let's first of all, let's drop the hypothetical and say this whole thing on your cruise ship flops. Okay?
Yep.
So you don't have millions of dollars.
Right.
You've got your income and
I'm still
YouTube
fine.
channel and all that.
Yeah.
So what concerns me is after I'm long gone and dead, how do we take care of the women after the fact?
Well, I think an insurance policy is one thing. You find something that's reasonable that you and I can afford within our different budgets, so that when you're gone, she gets a big chunk of cash. With Jen, it's like when I met her, she didn't have 10 pesos. She literally didn't have any money at all. Now she has a bank account. She has a debit card. With her little YouTube channel, she's making, 5 to 10,000 pesos a month, which is a little over, $100, $200 a month. She's got a really nice little motorbike all paid for. She's got her clothes and shoes and all the girl stuff. She has a passport. She has the postal ID. She has a driver's license. And so if I die tomorrow, she's set up to at least continue on with her life. She's got money in the bank. She wouldn't be able to afford where we're living now, but she could find a decent place with the money she's making. Right. And of course, with the money I would leave her.
Right.
And of course, whatever I have in the bank would be hers.
Right.
My daughters don't need it. My ex-wife doesn't need it.
Right.
And so I would do whatever I can to make sure she's taken care of. And I think there's different scenarios here for both of us. Like we can either like drop dead like that, or you can be a long,
Correct.
drawn out, bloody thing.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather drop dead, but
Absolutely.
for example, we have Alzheimer's, something like it's a slow decline.
Right.
In that case, I would make sure she's got the numbers to my, my PIN numbers on my debit card and my credit cards and all that, and that she can access that money as she sees fit. I'd get, since she's my wife, I wouldn't need a power of attorney, but you might need that. That's what my friend Alan has done. He's not married, but he's got a power of attorney for his wife. So if you're in the hospital, somebody's got to make decisions.
Right.
And someone has to know what you want done. Do you want to be on life support? Do you want to be on a respirator?
Right.
What do you want? And you just have to trust me, and I would trust Jen to make those decisions for me.
Right.
I don't want to hang around.
Do you think it would be prudent to get to it with an attorney and draw up, those
yeah,
instructions?
for sure.
Yeah.
Living will.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I've been on a respirator when I had my bypass surgery. I don't want to be on it again.
Right.
I'd rather just check out.
Right.
So
Right.
that's the way I see it.
So, okay, last question. What's a typical day for you?
I get up early, like 6:30. I usually check the tide. If it's high tide, sometimes my friend Alan and I go for a swim. Not really a swim. We just kind of float there. We got those little noodles. You know what a noodle is? It's like made out of foam.
Yeah.
We get on those. We just kind of sit there and talk. We don't really swim.
You don't want to exert yourself.
But we count it as exercise.
Of course.
We figure your body's trying to remain 98.6. The water's a little cooler than that, so you're burning some calories there.
Attaboy.
That's my workout. Sometimes I think heavy thoughts. And then I always have my coffee and my VA juice and my vitamins and my blood pressure medicine. I used to watch the news, like at home. That's what I used to, watch CNN or MSNBC. And now I don't care anymore.
I know.
It's just like these politicians are fighting with each other, and is this bill going to go through? I just don't care.
Yeah.
The longer I'm here, I started watching the news about the Philippines. What's going on here? With the vaccines and the virus, and there was a guy shot down in Bacong the other day. Did you hear about that?
No.
Yeah, right down there. Where the City Hall thing is down there, the big white building.
I sure do.
This guy got out of his car, motorcycle came by, boom, shot him dead.
A foreigner or a Filipino?
I don't know. But that doesn't happen here every day. It's the first time. It may happen other places, but it's the first time I've ever heard of it here. So,
Wow.
But that's basically it, And then Jen and I, it is with girls. They always want to do something.
Yeah.
They want to, go shopping or, run an errand, whatever. So, go do our shopping and come back, and that's it. And I spend a lot of time on my channel going through my videos, and I usually have an interview set up at least once or twice a week. I've been doing a lot of online stuff, so that's been working well for me. Matter of fact, I sent Rike a message.
Oh, did you?
And asked him if I could interview him. I saw him on your channel. It was really interesting. I want to ask him some different questions about.
Yeah, well, we had a screwed up connection on his end.
Oh.
Yeah, it was really funky. It kept going in and out and up and down and back and forth. So the sound on it and the audio on it was really lousy. So it is what it is. What are you gonna do?
But well, how about you? Like, what's your typical day now that you've moved?
I don't know. Typical day.
You do the same thing every morning, or you have a routine? Or
I do the same thing every day. I get up very early. I get up usually around 4 o'clock in the morning.
Really?
I go to May and I are like the most boring people in Dunedin. We'll go jicky jack around the day before, and we are controlled a lot by the weather. So if it's super hot outside, I don't want to go. If it's raining, obviously I won't go because it's just too dangerous and slippery. So we do a lot of just staying at home stuff, and we've had a lot of people that have just been coming over and dropping by, and that's always fun.
Yeah, we have that too.
I like that. I like it when people just come over. They do have cars, so they can drive in the rain, and we've got some friends now that have kids. They love to play in our yard. We have this big yard, so they run around and pick up leaves and stuff like that. But we've been handcuffed a lot with the COVID deal.
Me too.
So what can you do? You can go to a resort. You can go to lunch. You can go have coffee. You can go shopping. Today we ran some errands. I picked up my new registration on the bike. May stopped off and did an okay thing. I went to Tom Tom's. I had a conversation with a couple of guys, and that was about it, man.
I'm just
and then
kind of
when I come here and met you,
Yeah.
you know.
I was kind of running out of things to do. Like, we went to a place called Cuckoo's Nest.
I've
Ever been
heard of
there?
that. I've heard of it.
And went there, and I mean, very nice people that run it and everything, but you're staying in a Nipa hut. You know, I think I told you about this the other day.
Oh, is this your brownout day?
Yeah, this is a brownout day. Like, so we decided to go there.
What a nightmare.
But I spent.
You would have been better off just staying home.
I spent like 5,000 pesos to stay in a bamboo hut with a bat. You know, and no air conditioning, a fan, a mosquito net that had like big holes in it. Looked like it had been attacked by a panther or something. The last person died in there, I don't know. But a nice view of the ocean, nice breeze coming in. The food was okay, but it was a real long hike down to it. It's like, 150 steep steps, and people who watch my channel know I broke my foot a few weeks ago, so it's still healing. That hurt. And then I let my girlfriend pack my clothes for the first time. And so I said, yeah, sure, dear, go ahead, you unpack my clothes. You know what I need. And she packed my toothbrush and my razor and my blood pressure medicine, no problem. But she didn't pack anything to go swimming in. And we were going, the whole reason of going this is to be good snorkeling. So I go to get changed to go snorkeling. I've got nothing to wear but one pair of shorts.
Nice.
So I had to swim in those and then wear them to the restaurant later.
Perfect.
I had diaper rash, so, but aside from that.
It's those days that when they're happening, it's like torture. But then a couple of days later, it's a funny story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you look back on it fondly.
Yeah, it's funny, yeah. I know.
It's one of those things.
I don't get upset about things like that.
I don't
it's
either.
like, bless your heart. I'm not going to get mad at her about that. I mean, come on.
It wasn't done intentionally.
No, it wasn't done intentionally, It wasn't mean-spirited. Yeah. But anyway, going back to the cruise ship, I need to take this forward. I need to go to Greece and see the ship. And I checked in. It's going to cost me $1,500 a ticket, plus probably another $500 or $600 for hotels if I stay for, say, 4 or 5 days. And then if when I walk through the ship, it's everything I think it's going to be. Then there's a company called V-Ships, which will come in and inspect, just like when you buy a house. You have it inspected.
Yeah.
The same thing with a ship or a sailboat. And so V-Ships is like one of the biggest cruise ship and ship management companies in the world. They've got an office in Greece there. So they would come on board with a team and they would inspect the whole ship from top to bottom. It'd take them a couple of days. And that costs 13,000 euros, which is 15,500 US dollars. So that's the next hurdle. But right now, I can go to Greece, but I can't come back here. I can't get back here. I went to immigration yesterday to renew my visa, and I asked them, I said, well, if I go to Greece, can I come back? They said, no, you can't come back in. And I said, what if I get married? So I said, maybe I'll be married by then. And she said, well, yeah, kind of. Like, you'd have to go to the Philippine embassy in Greece and then prove you're married to a Filipina and then get a special visa to come back in. And that just kind of sounds a bit dodgy to me. Because I have a friend of mine, retired, he's an investment guy named Richard. And he's in the Philippines now, but he came here. He's married to a Filipina, been married to like 10 years to her. She's got dual citizenship. Anyway, she wasn't with him. She was already in the Philippines. He flew there to meet her permanently for their house and everything. He has a special visa that he can travel without her. Got a special visa. He arrives at the airport. The first immigration guy lets him go to the next checkpoint. Next checkpoint, the guy looks and said, no, this is not valid. You cannot come here with this visa. You have to have your wife with you. So he calls her. She's on another island. She gets there, and they still won't let him in. So they held him at the airport for 24 hours, at a chair with 2 guards watching him. They let him get food and stuff, and they were nice to him, but he's basically under, kind of a semi-arrest.
Yeah. And
when the plane came, they let him go in the plane, and they made him pay the guards' salaries for guarding him. He had to pay them, and then they deported him back to America.
Really?
Yeah. So it was a real nightmare for him, and he handled it. I can't believe how calm the guy was about it. But anyway,
what's the ramifications of being deported?
They just said that the visa was not valid. The visa wasn't valid.
So can he come back, or is he
blacklisted?
Yeah, he's back
now. He's back now.
now.
They didn't blacklist him or nothing. They just said, they literally deported him. He went all the way home, and then like a month and a half later, him and his wife came in together, and it was all okay. But they still had to do the quarantine and shit. So that's why I'm real nervous about like going off to Greece because I don't have a lot of money. I go to Greece and I spend all this money on travel and hotels and stuff, and then I turn around and come back and find out, oh, they're not going to let you back in for months.
Right.
Then what do? Go back to America? I mean, you're really screwed then.
There's a lot of guys in a jam right now.
There are.
Because they're up against the wall. Their visas expired 2 or 3 months ago, and they're trying to extend them.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what's going to happen with that.
I don't either. I mean,
fortunately, I've got a year and 3 or 4 months left on mine just because of timing.
Yeah, I got 1 year.
And so I think that's plenty of time for things to settle down.
I thought that a long time ago.
Well, yeah. The other thing is there's plan B for me is I would go to America, see my father and do what I've got to do. Probably a 2-weeker thing there. And then I would fly into some place like Nicaragua where I could be in a holding pattern for a while. Maintain the house here for May and still maintain myself. I mean, that's doable financially, because they're both so inexpensive. And May's cheap to keep, you know what I mean? It's like I'm the expensive one. So once the rent gets paid and the electric's paid, the rest is usually me with the food and the this and that and the other. Her, she's just, simple food, simple pleasures, stay out in the garden, have her friends come over and stuff like that.
But she had no transportation, that's the only problem.
Well, that would get fixed.
Yeah,
that would get fixed. I'd have her sister come live with her or something.
Yeah.
One of her friends would come live with her.
That's what Jen would do.
Someone that could drive.
Yeah.
We'd work through those details.
We'd have Jen's sister.
There's no way I would leave that woman alone in that house.
Yeah.
Without another girl or two in there with her. So.
Yeah, I would have.
But that's
Jen's
the
sister
long
stay there.
game. When you have to play that, you have to think ahead. If you've got to go and you can't get back, what are you going to do? I'd have to be in a holding pattern in a friendly country, be it Vietnam or Thailand or Cambodia or Bali or Nicaragua, Mexico.
Mexico's cheap and nice.
These places that are cheap and not and then wait for the Philippines to open back up. I was really, really, really optimistic about them opening up like a year ago.
Me too.
I thought, this will be over with soon, and it just keeps perpetuating itself.
Yeah, a year and a half ago, when the first lockdown was over, it was supposed to be 2 weeks. They made it 3, and when it was over, we had a big party at El Savita where I lived, and celebrating. No, this is great. That was no big deal. Back to normal. Little did we know.
We actually have it really good here, though.
We do.
Honest engine.
We do.
I mean, the fact that you and I are sitting here right now is great compared to some places.
Yeah.
The fact that we can go to a resort and they're just kind of fudging the rules.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They just so much capacity and this, that, and the other, and sign this book, take that temperature, and go through that. And I think everybody here is COVID wary. With the mask and I feel sorry for the security guards.
Oh yeah, me too.
These poor guys have already got a very hard job.
Yeah.
Because it's hard just to stand on your feet for 6 or 8 or 12
hours.
I'm sure they get a bathroom break and a lunch break and all that, but now they got to put up with this and sign the name and tell people.
And they're wearing a mask and a shield all day.
And they're wearing a friggin' mask and a shield all day. So my hat's off to them.
I agree.
Same thing with the checkers at Hypermart and all that. They're all bound up.
Yeah, yesterday at Immigration's, it's hot in that hallway at Immigration.
Yeah, it is.
And that poor guy's there, long sleeve shirt.
Yeah.
And he's got his mask on, got his shield on. He's been there. He's going to be there all day long until they close. And he was so helpful. Like I forgot my glasses, so I couldn't fill the form out right.
Right.
He filled that out for me.
Yeah.
The security guard, and he doesn't even work for Immigration.
No.
These guys are good guys.
The two best people that work in my humble opinion, that work out here that you can rely on and deserve every kudo you can give them are the security guards and the parking attendants.
Yeah.
They're rock stars.
They are.
They are rock stars.
I watched the guy work the other day, a parking attendant.
I was in a bank and I got more information, this was years ago, but I got more information from the security guard than from the bank staff.
Oh, yeah.
He knew more about what was going on, what line to get in, what form I needed, how to get a ticket. Go over there, sir. This, that, the other. And I don't know, man.
I think what they do is out of pure boredom. They decide to be helpful. I've seen the guy at 7-Eleven washing windows.
Yeah.
And putting things away.
Yeah.
And just doing whatever he can to help out and make the time go by.
Yeah. They want to stay busy.
Yeah, which is smart, But yeah.
So anything else has changed? Anything else is new? Once you get married, you're going to go on like a honeymoon, or are you going to?
But one, if I can afford it. Two, if we can go anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, I would like to take her to Greece with me, but you know, that depends on, you know, when it happens. They have offered to the broker that's selling the ship has offered to do a Zoom walkthrough of the ship. Like a guy there in Greece that's already there will take his camera phone and walk through the ship, and I'll be talking. We'll go into this room, go into that room, and you know, have him walk around the whole ship. And then it's the same thing with the inspection. They would film all that for me. But the thing is, in order for our investors and our fundraising, we want to document, almost make it like a YouTube series. So I want to show myself, you know, on the plane, going to Greece, arrive at my hotel. There's the ship for the first time, and make it a whole, you know, a whole video about that whole thing, series about the ship. And if it doesn't work out, that'll be there too.
Right.
And if we get it inspected, I'll be there in the engine room with the guys and asking questions like, you know, is there any problems, and you know, all that stuff. And then after that, say we buy the ship and the investors come in, then she's got to go. We got to move her to a dry dock, and they lift the whole ship out of the water, which is kind of exciting. They pull it into a berth where there's another barge sunk beneath the ship, and they line it up with just a chain and these big rubber holder things that go in the bottom of the ship. And they, over like 10 hours, they pump the water out of the barge, and it slowly rises up and lifts the whole ship out of the water.
Wow.
And then they can inspect everything. It's kind of cool to be under a ship that's up out of the water, can see the props and everything. And they check it all, and she'll be in refit for like a week or 2 weeks, where they have to recertify all the certificates that have expired over the last 2 years. And then just like a car, there's certain maintenance things they have to do. I don't know what those are. You know, I don't think like they change the oil or something, but there's things that got to be done. You know, and then and
they fire up the engines, I'm sure. And
everything's checked out.
Do they take it for a test drive, or is that just too laborious? It's just too big?
I don't think we'll have to do that, but it'll be driven from where it is now to where the dry dock is, which could be 100 miles. I don't exactly know where the nose.
And would you be on it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I mean, in a best case scenario.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, we're a long way from that.
Yeah.
But you know, it's a fun thing to work on. It's not taking that much time, and you know.
So what's the dealio? I watched your video about Jim trying to go to school, and it was just another cluster. You know what? The poor woman was trying to just go there. Nobody knew where to point her. There was no orientation.
Well, it's actually worse than that.
Her motorbike was buried.
Yeah.
She hadn't eaten. She hadn't slept the night before. And, you know, my heart just melted for her. Yeah. And I thought, man, I bet there was nobody in Dumageddon that was more thankful to sit down at Jollibee like she went to and have a burger or whatever it was she had. Yeah. It was like, oh, thank God, I've got some food in my stomach, you know.
Well, the thing is like it was actually worse than that. For like a month now, she's been trying to register for school. Like, she already went to one school here.
Yeah.
And she went there for 2 years. And so she had to get she calls it requirements. Like, it's your grades and stuff.
Yeah.
You have to get your requirements.
Like transcripts.
Yeah, your transcripts. That's what we call transcripts.
Yeah.
She's got to get her transcripts and take those to the new school. And so she goes to her old school and goes down there and fills out all these forms and stuff. Can I get my transcript? Well, come back tomorrow. So she goes all the way. It's like 30 minutes from her house. All the way back there the next day. Waits in line, takes a number, all this stuff, fills out some more forms. No, sorry, we don't have it. You know, come back next week. And this happened like 5 times. And she's wanting to, she can't register at the other school until she's got her requirements, her transcripts. So finally, you know, after all these trips, she finally gets the transcripts, takes them over to the new school, and they don't tell her, like, she wants to do digital arts, only because of all the things, choices there. That was the only one that appealed to her.
Okay.
You know, it's not like she's got a passion for it. So she registers for that, and then back and forth, like to get her schedule, like 5 times. You know, oh, sorry, they're not ready yet. Come back tomorrow. You got to pay. She pays the money for the first semester, and come back tomorrow and get them at 8 o'clock. So she gets all dressed, goes down there. They're not ready. They're not ready. They're not ready. Finally, last week she gets it, and I look at her schedule, and her first class starts at 7 a.m. What kind of college class starts at 7 a.m.? And then, you know how long the class is? 3 hours.
Jeez.
3-hour class. And they were all like that. It was like her last class was at 5 o'clock.
Well, can't she just go like to a university and take one class?
This is exactly what I'm talking to her about now. I said, Silliman's a really good university.
Yeah.
It's expensive, but she could go there and say, okay, you want to learn video editing.
Yeah.
Here, take video editing, this time, and then, or maybe 2 classes, and then next year take something else.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. Because they don't care about her. And I don't think she's going to learn anything useful. And it's 3 years. So for 3 years, she's going to be gone all day. We can't go anywhere. We can't do anything, and I think she's going to be exhausted.
I agree.
So,
I'll tell you, it's entered my noodle because I like to learn. I like to read. I like to learn about. I'm a very curious guy, and it's entered my mind that I can go down to Silliman and I can take a class.
Yeah.
I can take a class in creative writing or in videography or
so you could use
whatever, photography. Pick a number, whatever flips your trigger, and that would be something that could fill time for.
A lot of universities have that for senior citizens.
Yeah.
I thought about that myself. Like you're talking about, if I had a bunch of money or this cruise ship thing, I had extra time, I might go down to Sullivan and take like archaeology.
Yeah.
Just because I'm interested.
Yeah. I've always wanted to go on one of those archaeological digs. That's on my bucket list.
Really?
Yeah. Well, sure, to go out and go hunting around and see if you can find a fossil or something like that. I think it would be awesome. I've always wanted to go pan for gold. I've always thought that would be fun.
I actually bought a pan.
Yeah?
I actually had one here. I gave it to Elgin, but I actually know where we might be able to find some.
And for me, it's not even about finding the gold. It's about,
it's
going
just fun.
It's just fun. It's just something to do. If you go on an archaeological dig, it's not about finding a bone or a fossil. It's about going and using the thing and tapping away and kind of like,
well,
what might happen on the next strike of the hammer.
I actually know a real archaeologist in Egypt. And my friend Jeff, who's the attorney, and he just got his MBA, I think, from Harvard. And a really smart guy. I met him 10 years ago in Australia. And he said that I can go with him to Egypt. And with this guy, he's been with him many, many times. And he takes you all the secret places, gets you, down into like Saqqara, where the tombs are, the great big huge granite boxes, and to the pyramids that, nobody ever goes to. And there's all these cool things that you have to really know somebody to get in there and can do all that stuff. And so you can come with us.
That would be awesome.
That
would be awesome.
But yeah, there's cool things. And the Pan for Gold, I know a place.
Here?
Yeah.
Really?
There's a lot of gold in the Philippines.
Is there really?
There is, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Matter of fact, it was President Eisenhower. Somebody asked him, what's the richest country in Asia? He said the Philippines.
Okay.
Because of gold. There's illegal gold mines in Manila.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but there's gold here, yeah. And,
you have to tell everybody on the internet that? We couldn't keep this between ourselves?
Yeah, we'll do a video. Look, we found gold. So some guys will kill us to take our gold.
I'm smelling a drive-by.
Yeah. But actually, I was before I got into this whole ship thing, I thought, well, I'm going to go hiking some of these rivers here and look for gold. And so I ordered online, for a pan and everything, Yeah. And it got here, and I used it in my apartment to keep a plant on. Yeah. Very nice for the plant.
Yeah.
And then I said, I'm never going to use this, so I gave it to Elgin.
Oh, really?
So I could get another. It's only like $5.
Yeah.
So if I would have known you were interested, we could have gone, man.
Oh, man. Well,
it wasn't far.
I'll order a pan and we'll go one day.
They got them on Lasada.
Huh?
They got them on Lasada in Shopee. Yeah, real cheap.
Right. I know some rivers out here.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. Is that where they are, the rivers? Under rocks? Oh, okay. All right. I got it. Yeah.
Sorry, secret information.
So they're closing up.
Yeah, they're closing up.
All right, we're at Coffee Groove. We're just here shooting the breeze. We thought we'd bring you guys along, talk about the usual knucklehead stuff we talk about. So thanks for coming on my channel, and we're actually videotaping this simultaneously.
Yeah.
So for my folks, see you later, and thank you, Mark.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Bye.